So getting into Ruby Rock and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Teal Zerg player, himself. Oh, representing Shopify Rebellion, it's from the land of Germany. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. It is Creator. Here we go. Really wonder what the resources lost tab looked like right after the final depth push that killed 5 drones. I mean, it isn't just that, if you recall. It's the fact that Hero delayed his third base very heavily in favor of the adepts. It's the fact that he delayed all of his tech heavily as well in favor of said adepts. It's also the fact that Lambo was actually quite greedy in his defense. If you remember, Lambo, he only had 6 roaches to defend when the adepts arrived. Like, it was a very greedy defense out of Lambo, which is why it's important that he survived and defended as well as he did, right? Minimizing his losses, getting away with a high drone count. He droned up to 66 before the defense, which was very greedy, and a lesser player would have died then and there, but he was able to just have the most efficient kind of defense, get away with the most amount of drones possible, and then just snowball from there. GG, well played. And with that, he's going to be going up against Creator. The ZvPs continue. Now, Creator, of course, is a much more quote-unquote standard Protoss player. I say standard. Creator, he has his own quirks, he has his own styles. He's very fond of, I mean, he is willing to mix in Glaive Adepts, he's willing to mix in like Colossus heavy builds in the mid game as well. So Creator, he can be a little bit more unique in that way, that is true, but he's not as diverse as Hero, for example. And trying to bring Creator down into the mud with Lambo, it's going to be more difficult to achieve, I feel. So far, Lambo does take a different approach. Hatch gas pool, standard opener so far out of Lambo. Likewise, we are going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is an aggressive map in the map pool. Shorter rush distance, more exposed third bases. All-ins are favorite here, and I expect to see Lambo go for a 3-base all-in. I expect to see something very similar to what we saw in the last game on Mothership, where he cut workers at 66, got a 4th base just for Lava, and just went for a Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager all-in. But I do expect this to be maybe a Ling Hydra instead. We'll see. Still quite early, but again, just aggression is heavily favored here on Ruby Rock. From the side of Creator, I'm curious to see how he will approach this. We have seen the PvZ meta shift quite a bit. Because aggression is more favored, we have seen more defensive builds in the mid game. Oh, but here we go. Twilight Council opener. Creator is not playing Stargate. Do we open up Adepts? I mentioned this in the lead up to this, if you recall, how Creator does like to mix in Glaive Adepts, so that's an option. Otherwise, we could even go into Dark Templar. We'll keep an eye on the gases. Keep an eye on the gases. Lambo himself going for his third. Going for his third base. And so far we're staying in. If we stay in gas, then there's a higher chance that this is going to be a Dark Trine. If we start to pull out, then there's a higher chance it's going to be Glaive Adepts. The other option this could be is additional gateways here. And I mean, I don't see a Robo. Hold up. Blink? Blink is on the way, did stay in gas, so this does make sense, but going for insanely fast blink like this is ay. It's not normal. Okay, show us what you got. So fast blink. So far on a lower gateway count. Getting towards Robo, and we'll see if he turns this into a 2-base all-in. In my mind, that makes the most sense. Yeah, 3 gates on the way, 1 is already done, so 4 gate blinks so far. Do we go up to 6? Jesus, we do more than that. We do. So 5 gates on the way, and the one that's already done, so 6 gates. So it's going to be a 2-base 6-gate all-in. There shouldn't be a proxy gateway across the map because that is what the War Prism is going to be for. There we go, Prism's on the way. And Creator is going to double down. Now remember what we just said. We just mentioned how, hey, Ruby Rock is known for aggression, known for all-ins, has exposed third bases, and it's going to be Creator to bring the aggression to Lambo. Now Lambo, he's scouting, he's checking, he knows that there is no expansion. That's already a tell. There's no third base, something is wrong. Something is wrong, something is amiss. Lambo is getting a safety Roach Warren because he knows that something is not quite right. And we'll see if Lambo can react in time. So far, he's got Links on the way. Killing his tumor so he can fully wall off. He is expecting Adepts. That's what this tells me. He wants to fully wall off to deny Adepts. Prism is moving out. Roaches are amassing. And what's going to surprise Lambo, surprising me as well, is it's not Adepts. It is Mass Blink Stalker instead. Creator moving in. This is where Lings are a must, not Roaches. And even then this comes down to the control. Oh. Bullet goes off, queen goes down. Nice pick up. Takes on one of the queens. Miscontrol of the Lambo as he did have a transfuse. Did miss it. Speaking of. Let's save the queen towards the end. The Lings, they're coming in from behind. Lambo setting up for the surround. Oh. It does collapse in. Forcing the blink. Jesus. Does force the blink. I feel like Lambo could have been a little more assertive there. Could have been more aggressive. More Zealots are warping in. These are slow lots, but they don't need to be fast here. The Lings are coming to him. They're coming to Creator. But Creator, he needs more damage. Lings, they try to catch reinforcements. They try to threaten a counterattack. See, the Creator doesn't want to be lured in. That's why he's keeping his ults back. Doesn't get surrounded. Does see the Lings. Creator is aware. Shaking with more Zerglings. So far, Creator has lost one Stalker. the efficiency back. Oh. Gets a Roach. Does get a Roach. Okay, that's a lot of slow lots. And blinks away. Has to be careful. A couple of Zealots almost got surrounded. Ta-da! Ember throws away Queen. Again, the Zealots, they hold their own. Lambo bleeding out more Lings. But he is slowly building up that Roach count. The Roaches have been amassing. Oh! The Lings, they come in for the surround. So far, nice control here by Creator. And he commits. Yeah, he's going for the fight. So many Lings have gone down. Only one Ravager. Once again, Creator being so careful with his control, pulling back those Zealots. Doesn't want to throw them away. Oh, but he does lose a line of Stalkers. Stalkers finally going down, but last Creator, he is out trading. It's been a very slow, methodical 2-base all in, but Creator, it feels like he's been out trading this entire time. I mean, he has been. Losing 6 Stalkers. And against 109 Lings, oh my god. 109 Zerglings. Speaking of, every Zergling here should be going down. It does get a Stalker. So Lambo gets one more Stalker. Oof. All of that for one Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. That's target firing at the Creator. Picking up for 2 more Roaches. Getting 3. That's a lot of Roaches going down. And remember, Lambo, he's had the worst economy here. He has not been mining from his third base whatsoever. It's 2 base versus 2 base. The third base finally goes down. Oh. Lambo trying to take another expansion. Taking into Banelings. Oh. We're not quite, so we don't quite have enough to blink forward yet, but we're getting close. That's why we're getting close. Lings, they do slip past. They're gonna hit the natural. Creator's no longer in position to defend. As he rotates to the top side. Forcing a defensive warp in. Oh. That third base is denied. Lings, they kill a gateway. And I'll be honest, I think at this point Creator's done it. Like, look at the supply disparity here, bearing in mind that Lambo's supply is already inflated because of the roaches. So Lambo's in a rough position, and again, it's been a very slow, very methodical all-in at a Creator, and he's just been picking Lambo apart. I'm afraid to look. Jeez. Creator, he's lost 14 stalkers, he's killed 20 roaches, killed a base, the 9th expansion killed almost 200 lings, 168 back. Poquito más. Keep going. He's killed so many zerglings. And now picking up roaches, units that are actually expensive. Here comes the main bust. But there are stalkers to defend. There we got 12 banelings morphing in. They'll break down the front door. Bust down the pylons, gets a full surround. Creator, what's the plan? Does he commit? Yeah, he's going for it. Yeah, at this point, he's just forced to pull the trigger. He's going for it. He rushes forward. His natural is going to be forfeit. He'll lose everything in his natural. At the same time, he's just going for the kill. He's going for the base trade. We're going for the base trade. He's warping and Zelt's back at home. Ooh, supply blocks Lambo. Lings do not get in. Oh, the whole position micro. Another banelings. Efficient trades. Yeah, the most efficient bailing actions they could have hoped for. Biles, they deny the warp in, but now we just blink forward. Yeah, we blink forward. Dive on top of the army. Lambo gets surrounded. Lambo, he will lose everything. And in this game, he did lose over 220 lings. Creator, he defended back at home. He defended back at home. His Zealots, they held their own. And again, there's barely an army left here for Lambo. Lambo down to 6 roaches, down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Creator, he pulls off the 2-base all-in. 12-minute long game. Oh my god, but Creator does it, and Creator takes the lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense game, a very unique game as well. It is very rare to see a Blink Stalker based 2-base all-in, but Creator, he was so methodical with it as well. He was so careful. There was never any rush. He was poking in, picking flings, pulling away, getting a queen here and there, getting a roach here and there, slowly amassing those zealots, so we never saw a surround. Creator never allowed it. He never allowed for a surround to happen, as he had zealots behind his army the entire time. I'm sure the Lambo was also very uncomfortable because I doubt Lambo's ever played against this kind of build before, so the idea of going for a Bailey Nest earlier definitely would have made a lot of sense, but he went for it much later. Sure, he was able to break into the natural, but by that point it was too late. It was too little too late. As Creator, he already had enough to just overwhelm the natural base. GG. GG, well played. With that, Creator takes the lead, and now we're loading into game number 2. Let's go. Let's go. Este dado, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Buenas noches, papi. Buenas noches. There we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the right hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the Teal Zerg player. We have the German Zerg. Rosang Shopify. It is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Creator. Here we go. Whew. And again, a wild game 1 here. Now we load into game 2. Game 2 is going to be in White Rabbit. White Rabbit is a much larger map of the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. We're expecting a longer and later game here. We're expecting a more macro game. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on our players. We'll see where our players do head. We're leaning towards, say, a Stargate open into Oracle into a third. See if Creator does mix it up once again. Likewise, Lambo, how will he approach this? On a map like White Rabbit's, aggression is not really too favored here, so Lambo, we can see him being forced to drone, being forced to saturate. Muted play and Spire play is a viable option for sure. I don't know if Lambo's one to risk it though, now that he's down in the series, but it is going to be available here to Lambo. It is available. Good. Oh yeah. Sorry, just the lack of sleep over the weekend is catching up. The intensity of RSL, yeah. It's catching up. Oh, and once again, Twilight Council. Okay. It's the Creator. I assumed we'd be seeing a Stargate into a third base, but no, once again, early Twilight Council. Now, last game, this led into a Blink All-In. Now, I did like going for a Blink All-In, specifically on Ruby Rock. I don't like the idea of it here on White Rabbit, so we'll see if we go into DTs, into Glaive Adepts. So far, we don't see a faster Robo. We are not pulling out of gas. So far, this does look like the same build. Again. Okay. See if there's any deviation. Do we go for Blink? Oh, Glaives this time. Okay, he's going for Glaives. Now, what's important here is that, are we going to throw down a Robo or not? Are we going to throw down, are we going to pull out a gas at any point? So there's a Robo. Okay, we're going for the Robo. The fact that we stayed 3 and 3 in gas this entire time, it feels like we might go for more than just 4 gateways. Going for a 4-gate setup does allow you to expand, but if you're staying in gas like this and you're this gas intensive, then we may just go up to 6 gateways and go for mass adepts into a 2-base all-in, which is quite similar to what we saw last game, except with playing Stalkers instead. Now, just like last time, Lambo, he's going to be active with his Lings, and he should confirm that there's no third. Oh, and now we see why we stayed in gas. So my assumption was, hey, if we're staying in gas, we might go up to 6 gateways. We're not. We're going to be going 4 gates into Glaives into a Dark Shrine. So that explains the extra gas is for Glaive Ups plus DTs. So both are coming out. This was relatively common a couple of years ago, so Lambo, I'm sure he's played against this before. We'll see if he can prepare for this time. He's going for the Roachhorn, so safety Roachhorn at Lambo. And again, because this build is so out of meta, again, this build was quite common back in like 2022, 2023, specifically, but seeing it here and now, if Lambo's not aware, if he's not willing to play it safe, then he might skip his spores. But there we go, Spore at the natural, Spore in the main base, he'll have detection, he'll be okay. Be okay. So Lambo's done everything correct. Done everything correct so far. Lambo joining up to 44. Massing up some Lings, DTs are on the way. David Ups as well. And Ups will be moving in first. Looking for an opening. Now there is also a Spore on the way here at the third base. Plenty of detection. Ups take him into the main. Shaving a lot of Zerglings. Lings going down, Spores repositioning, keeping up with the War Prism. Ooh, within range of the Spore. Yeah, miscalculation out of Creator. Nah, yeah, the Prism is so low that we shouldn't even see a Warped anymore. And the aggression has failed. The aggression has failed. Did I speak too soon? He gets into the third. Okay, drones are going down. Ooh, this should not have happened. Yeah, 6, 7, 8 drone kills. Yeah, the Prism is spin back. Third base is on the way. Creator is expanding. There's a recall. Oh, another Prism. Oh, no dead space. Yeah, no dead space. Prism goes down. And now we're in a really awkward game state here. On the one hand, Lambo did lose a lot of drones, that is true, and his economy is lackluster. On the other hand, everything is late for Creator, right? Late third. The third is not even halfway done, so late third base, late tech, late saturation, late everything else. I did notice some Dark Temple warping in. Looks like they're defensive at the third, so they should defend. There we go. DT's revealed, but again, this was a big investment. So things are looking to stabilize in a sense. Or do I favor Lambo? I mean, Lambo's free to drone. He's free to drone up. He's free to saturate. We should be seeing a fourth base momentarily. Yep, there we go. Fourth is on the way. So Lambo does feel free to drone, but his drones are late because of this. I mean, look at all the lings. Half of these could have been drones, right? They could have been workers, could have been drones, could have been a faster fourth base, better saturation. So Lambo is also stumbling his way into the mid game. And we'll see if anyone is too greedy. Specifically, I feel like Creator has incentive to go for an earlier timing attack. Lambo has to be careful. This Creator is building up his Archons, his Immortals. Lanes are deflected. Archons, they're finding more damage. You know, Lord, whenever they can. Finding another Overlord. Gets a Spore. Yeah, as you mentioned, Creator is building up towards an attack. He's building up his Archons, building up his Immortals. Should be pushing soon. Meanwhile, Lambo, it looks like he isn't being too greedy. That's what I was concerned by. I was concerned he was going to join up his fourth, but no, as you can see here, his fourth only has 2 workers. He has not saturated. We do see Lambo gearing up on Ling Main Road Ravager. So Lambo is building up on 3 bases, setting up for his own 3 base all-in. And if Creator moves out, then Creator should lose his army. If he stays back home, he has a chance to defend. As Creator he moves out, he does spot the massive Unveiling. Jeez. Also does force a mass cancellation. But again, he cannot fight this army head on. There it is, 27 Banelings on the way. Creator trying to stop them. Trying to slow them down. 32 Banelings, Jesus. Oh god. He's got his Banelings. Drones are going down. Yeah, DTs are wreaking havoc. Meanwhile, here comes the all-in. Shows the force fields. Yeah, force fields going to be crucial. Decent force fields. Oof. But Banelings still connecting. And Banelings, there's so many of them. 32 Banelings going to be rolling on forward. Here, it's mainly Immortal Archon left over. Immortals are exposed. Can we save them? The Immortals! Oh my god, really does. It does save the Immortals. The DTs are defending. Do we have detection? There is an Overseer. Yeah, there is an Overseer here, but insane defense. GG gets called. Creator with the force fields baiting out those Banelings. He held on just barely with the bare minimum. And GG. GG, well played. Creator will take the series 2-0. Whew, GG, well played. A very impressive defense here by Creator. I was concerned here that the all-in will be too much. I was especially concerned that Creator would be caught out in the open, but no, he was able to pull back in time, recognize what was going on, able to force field, able to defend, able to save the Immortals with his War Prism control as well. GG, well played. Whew, a very impressive defense there by Creator as he knocks the Lambo out of the tournament and will be advancing on into the quarterfinals. GG, well played. Does advance on into the quarterfinals to face off against his next opponent.